and it depends on the guitar, which is weird. On my Strat, I typically use a Tortex because I like to rake the strings a little
What
more.
kind of Tortex?
Uh, Dunlop one, the blue.
Mm.
Take the blue pill. You know what I mean? Um, it was a Matrix joke. Don't take it any further than it needed to. And then with my Telly, I tend to use that.
Yeah.
With my SG, I use a Jazz 3.
You're so weird.
I use a different pick for each guitar.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I was using these waves. Did you see that and feel
No.
that?
Uh-uh.
They've got like a little thing to them.
Oh, that's
Like
nice.
a little grip. Like it's not exactly texturing like the Herco, but it's got like a little rake to it,
Yeah.
which I like. And then you know what I recently went back to? It's just the regular old Fender mediums, but in white. Specifically white.
Cause why?
Because I kept dropping those while I was playing.
Oh,
Or like
you can see those.
I'd knock them off while I was on stage, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, "It's dark, I can't see anything."
Yeah. Goes into the abyss.
These white ones show up everywhere.
Yeah. Huh.
So I switched to all white Fender mediums,
Okay.
and that's been my go-to lately. I just bought like a few picks.
Yeah, no, I've been playing with different picks on each guitar.
Well, that makes it complicated.
Maybe for you. All right, we need to get started.
Okay, let's
Guys, before we start this episode, we're starting off the new year right. We've got some merch. There's links down below. You guys can check it out. Or if you don't want to, don't check it out. Yeah, do whatever you want. All right, let's get back to that episode. See ya.
Hey guys, welcome to Tone Bros. My name's Casey.
And I'm Colin. We're going to get started with our current topic of the day, which is maybe not so current right now.
No.
It's been out for a little bit, but it's the TC Plethora
X1.
X1.
The X1.
It's the single pedal, and it does everything.
Oh, it does everything you ever need.
All right. My opinion, they should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, they should have released this with the first set of Plethoras.
Yeah, they should have had this out when the HX1 came out.
They're 179. And right now, I don't know what this means, but right now
I don't know what this means.
they're on sale for 129. They're $50 off, and they've just been out like I don't know, a month or two.
I mean, the HX1 was on sale for the holidays.
I guess that's the thing.
Everybody's doing
But
sales.
we're past the holidays and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But it made me nervous when I saw that because I was like, man, why are they marking it down so much? Are they getting rid of it already?
I don't know.
But surely not.
You know, it does make me think that technology's been out for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the flashback came like 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
I have no idea when it came out, but it feels like it's been out for a long time.
I still have the original flashback where it's got one tone print, and yeah, they should have came out with this a long time ago.
Yeah, the idea is so cool to be able to flip through some of that stuff and like have just one effect ready to go. Because how often do you just need like one modulation effect for a certain song?
Right.
Some oddball thing, and it's changing all the time what you need. I think about like the church players who are out there, like praise and worship guys. They've got all their reverbs and they've got all these delays and all this wild stuff going on. And then like every week they've got some new song that's got some weird modulation effect on there. They're like, oh, I need harmonic tremolo for this, which they're probably using Mobius's and different things like that. I get that.
If it's Mobius's, is it Mobi?
I don't know.
Just asking.
I like the idea that if there's two Mobiuses,
It's Mobi.
Mobi. That's it. Mobi. Mobi Strymon. So it would be awesome to have that one pedal that you could throw that oddball effect on and just, put the tone print in there. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I really feel like they should have put this out a long time ago. Honestly, it might have saved me from buying an HX1. I'd have just put this at the end of my board.
So how does it feel? Now you have an HX1,
Yeah.
poor thing.
Yeah, poor thing.
You got this HX1, and it's got a flux switch. It's got all these crazy presets.
Uh-huh.
Would you trade it in? Maybe not trade it in because it's not equal money or whatever, but would you prefer to have this Plethora?
No, I would still rather have the HX1 because of that flux switch.
Because the flux switch.
Because there's so many effects, especially like a rotary setting where you want fast and slow.
Yeah.
If you want like a really heavy chorus, or because that flux switch allows you to just taper it off or whatever. Even spring reverb, you can have a low decay and then really heavy decay. So to me, it's still worth the HX1. Also, you got drives in it. Not that I use them all the time.
You got drives in the Plethora too, probably.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't looked in exactly what's in there.
Maybe you're right. I don't think so because they don't have a drive that has tone prints, right?
No, but they definitely make drives. I mean,
they got the shaker, they got the compressor, they got delay, they got reverb,
and they've got the dark matter, which is distortion and stuff, too.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a tone print.
No, I don't think it's a tone print. What's that one, the Mojo that Paul Gilbert uses?
Mojo.
Okay, that's just the name twice.
It has Mojo.
But anyway, yeah.
I know Paul Gilbert used to use it, but he has a JHS pedal. I don't know if he still uses it.
I think he was using both of them together.
Okay, well, you got to have that extra mojo.
That's right. It's what? If you don't have the mojo, are you even gonna play guitar?
Where's my mojo?
It's become a thing. It's my mojo.
Well, you need to put it on your board then.
Anyway, it's a awesome pedal. I love the idea of it. I'm not for sure. I think it probably is a little bit easier for players that are thinking about an HX1 or thinking about an H9 from Eventide.
Right.
I mean, who wants to go through that editor?
Right.
So the idea of being able to just use a single pedal tone print, you can do the little tone print thing or download it from your computer, whichever way. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a great product.
That's great. Let's go ahead and move into my main topic.
Okay.
Let's move out of the mojo mode.
Okay.
Let's move into my main
topic.
topic.
That'd be great.
Okay. So, my main topic is asking you about expression pedals.
Oh, great. Here we go.
So I was on the old pedal train pedal board planner, like as we do, right, guys?
As one does.
And I was playing with all my little setups for what I'm going to do with this big board. I've been on this hunt for this, getting my big board all set up. And I was thinking, what if I had an expression pedal for a delay pedal, one of my delays, because I'm going to have a couple different delays on there, that I could bring in like the level of the delay. That's a good idea. And I was like, man, and then I've got this MD200 that I got for Pedalmas. If you haven't caught that episode, you can go back and watch that. But I was like, man, what if I threw an expression pedal on there and then I could change like speed settings and like every preset I can have it set up for something different. I was like, that's cool. And I was like, man, Vertex has got that boost and you could use an expression pedal as like a volume boost. It's like, that's cool.
So you're going to put it on every pedal?
Well, I got thinking about it. I was like, when is the point that you look towards an expression pedal or think about an expression pedal or would consider an expression pedal?
For me personally?
Yeah, you personally. Because me, I'm not for sure I totally want to dive into expression pedals that much. However, I did watch Steve Morris's rig rundown here a while back, and he had them set up for his delays and stuff.
Right.
And then Andy Wood was talking about that. He kind of set up a pedal board like that so he could bring in and out his delays.
Right.
That's a pretty genius way of doing it, really, because every room and every situation you need maybe a little bit more, a little bit less.
Right.
And I find myself turning that level knob on my delays
a lot.
Yeah. Almost per song.
Yeah.
So that expression pedal idea is a cool idea, but where do you fall on expression pedals? What's your thoughts on them?
So I think with modulation, it's a given, because especially with something like a rotary or a chorus, where you're going to change the speed of something, to me that makes sense. So like I'm on board for a modulation, even a phaser, that makes sense to me. Univibe.
Well, and like, on this MD200, I can set up that auto wah with the expression pedal, and now it's just a wah-wah pedal.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You could probably do the same thing with your HX1.
Yeah, well, I know I can do that.
You plug the expression pedal in there and you got a wah-wah pedal. It's not auto-wah anymore.
Yeah, that's cool. So I think modulation totally makes sense. Delay, obviously you wouldn't do it for a slapback or changing speeds, you know what I mean? But like, I think for volume, it makes sense.
Well, there's a lot of pedals that have presets where you could have the expression pedal set up where if you're heel down, that is slapback delay to exactly how you set
up.
And toe up is your long delay.
Which isn't a terrible idea, but like, I don't know, for me, I just like stepping on a pedal and it's where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like the Halo's perfect because it's got the presets.
Yeah.
I used to have 2 delays all the time. So the slapback was constantly on, and then I have a long one that I just punch in every once in a while if I needed it. And that worked great too. I actually like having 2 delays at once. I think it just adds more texture to the sound.
That's the one thing about the Halo I wish you could do.
Me too.
I wish you could have channel A and channel B on at the same time.
At the same time.
It is the only thing about the Halo that I'm not, like, I wish would be done with it.
Right.
I know that would probably take a lot more. You'd have to have a second delay engine.
I was about to say, also, like, what would the knobs control if they're both on? You know what I mean? One or the other. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point.
So it would be confusing too.
Yeah, maybe you just couldn't affect the delay. Oh, I don't know.
See?
Yeah.
So I think how they have done it is pretty spectacular. So let's not mess with it if we don't have to.
I love the Halo. It is the perfect delay for my small board.
Yeah. But anyways, we're talking about expression pedals. Honestly, I think one of the best effects with an expression pedal is complete volume, because those swells that you can do, especially if you're doing like a big like textural sound, those swells that you can do, or if you're doing like almost a steel guitar lick,
Yeah,
you know, those things are great. But I don't personally use it. So for what I would use, it would be just modulation. I wouldn't use it for anything else. I see why other people do it, and if that's your thing, that's cool. But there comes a point where like I've just got too many variables and I need to pare it down.
yeah. My concern is with it. So modulation, it does make a lot of sense. I love the idea of it on my delay, but I do worry, like, if that thing isn't set just right, when I click that delay on, what if it's all the way toe forward and my level's all the way up?
Takes your head off, yeah.
And then what if it's all the way down and I have to adjust it every time? Like, am I going to be annoyed by that? Maybe.
But are you more annoyed with that, or the fact that you got to change your volume per song or per every other?
Well, I'm pretty annoyed with having to tweak my volume all the time. However, I can't, with the Halo, you can just reach down and turn your level knob up. And then after the song's over, if I think that's better for this room, I'll save it. I'll save it because it takes nothing to save it. I know I just adjusted the level only.
Yeah.
And I'll save it real quick. So maybe I don't need an expression pedal for my delays.
I don't know.
Do I need an expression pedal for my delays?
What do you need for your stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. Now you got me thinking. I'm going to have to get back on pedal board planner.
Yep, you got to resituate everything.
Let's move on to gas or pass.
Okay.
Be your gas or pass this time.
All right, so this is one I think you and I are going to see things similar. Okay. I've been looking really hard because I got a Vox. It doesn't happen often. I get it. I've been looking really hard at hotcakes. And I'm not talking about just pancakes.
Right.
Okay. I've been looking at the Crowther Hot Cake. You can find them used for around $215. Okay. It's supposed to be a fantastic overdrive for a Vox amp. Maybe just in general. I've never played one. I would love to try one out. Is that a gas or pass? And if so, I've also got a caveat to this.
Okay. So the Crowther Hot Cake, I think it's a pretty original design from what I understand too. The guy that makes them, I believe, is in Australia. So they're not like real readily available here.
It's kind of hard to find. Yeah.
I've never seen one in person at a store.
Right.
I've seen them on Reverb a lot, obviously. And yeah, they are known for being great with Voxes. It's a gas for me because I am interested in one. Everybody seems to really like them. And it's kind of one of those pedals I feel like it's maybe the basis of a lot of other pedals that are out there, and kind of like a blues driver, kind of like a DS1, kind of like a Metal Zone or a Tube Screamer. Like there's variants of
flavor.
It's kind of its own thing and its own flavor. And I would like to check it out and see what I think of it. I don't know that it would live with me because I think it is a little higher gain than generally I go for. However, in the right amp, in the right situation, it might be perfect. I do think for you, it would probably hit pretty hard with your Vox, and some of your gigs you're needing a little bit more gain than what I'm using currently, so maybe it would fit.
I'm thinking it would. And also something I saw, John Bollinger from Premier Guitar, he demoed this, but StewMac makes a build-your-own pedal, and they call it the International House of Overdrive. The IHOO. Ihu.
Ihu.
But it's a hot cake build your own clone.
Hmm.
And it's only like $88.
Can you imagine if you had the Ihu and the Mojo Mojo on your pedal board? I keep going back to the Mojo Mojo. I don't know why. So yeah, I've done a build your own kit before for pedals, and it's cool and I like it. I think it's interesting. I want the original first. I want to have the Crowther Hot Cake first personally. Because, yeah, I know it's probably going to be the same. People are like, oh, the components' values are the same. Let me tell you something. I don't care if the components' values are the same or not. What the components are made of, whether you like it or not, the whole soup that you get, it changes things.
Yeah.
So I want to get the original soup. I want to go try gumbo down in the South. I don't want to try it in New York.
I hate when you go on these tangents, man.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed it a little bit, or you at least enjoy him hating it. So I want to try, I don't want to have sushi in, Iowa. So let's get to where
double down.
That's right. I want to get to where it comes from. And, that's cool they make it. StewMac makes it. It's probably a great pedal. Everything from StewMac I've ever tried, not that they make a lot of pedals, but like all their parts and tools and stuff are great. Go check them out if you haven't checked them out.
Yeah.
But I would want the Crowther Hot Cake. I know it's cheaper and the whole nine, that's great, but give me the Crowther every day. And for me, it's a gas. What about for you?
I think both of them are a gas for me because my current situation, like you said, I think my board kind of needs a hot cake. I need some hot cakes for breakfast, if you know what I mean.
He's needing some hot cakes and he needs some Mojo Mojo.
You gotta have mojo, baby. Yeah!
All right. Next on the gas or pass. It's your gas or pass.
All right. So we'll move to my gas or pass. My gas or pass. We are both big Nobels fans.
Yep.
We like the anniversary Nobels we've got. We like the sound of those minis. We like Nobels variants. We've got a Wampler Bell sitting here right now, actually, that we were messing with. Nobels just recently, not super recently, but fairly recently, last 6 months, put out a Bell... DEL-mini.
DEL-mini.
Not Bell. DEL-mini. So it's a delay. It's in a mini format, essentially the same size as this guy is here.
A little bigger, but top mount jacks.
A little bit bigger. No top mount jacks, side mount jacks.
Oh, it is, okay.
Side mount jacks. It's the size of a mini pedal, essentially. It's a delay. It's got your normal 3 knob settings. It's level, delay time, and what am I missing? Oh, amount of repeats. So it's got those 3, and then it's got a toggle switch, and you can switch between analog, tape, or digital delay.
Everything you need.
Everything you need. If you hold the button down, it turns into tap tempo. So you can tap the tempo in.
Huh.
You can choose buffered or non-buffered bypass, and it's true stereo in and out.
Huh.
In a single jack. You gotta use a TRS cable.
Yeah.
All of that in one little mini pedal. It's $99. What's there not to like?
Are the delays like fairly genuine?
They're fairly good. From the demos.
They're fairly good. You really sold it. You really.
Well, it's from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Right? So we listen to demos and we kind of get what we get from the demos.
Yeah, that's true.
But from what I can hear online, it sounded pretty dang good. Some of them were better than others. I think maybe digital's the one I thought was the least accurate representation of it.
Okay.
I actually think that analog and tape probably done a little bit better job, but I thought they were all pretty good. Man, what's your thoughts on this? A little mini delay like that, you can tap the tempo in, you're ready to rock and roll, and it does. We talked about the JHS Flight Time here a while back. This great big pedal, it's got 3 delays in it. One of them's reverse. I mean, that's useless. But the other 2 delays are good that's in there. It's got tap tempo.
And it's got 2 huge...
But it's big.
It's like 2 pedals.
Yeah, basically. A pedal and a half at least. And it basically has 1 less function because I don't want that reverse. And this thing's giving me tape, digital, and analog. I like all 3 of those.
Right.
Plus tap tempo, plus it's true stereo, plus I can choose its buffered, non-buffered bypass.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you could buy 2 of those, 2.5 of those almost for the price of the flight time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy.
Sold me.
Sold me too. And I think the Noble stuff's pretty good. I mean, all their drives are good.
The drives are good. I'd have to hear the delay, obviously, but like as far as $99 goes, I mean, talk about a delay you throw in your bag if you need it.
Yeah, or just have it on your board and it can, serve as kind of
A slapback.
A catch-all, a slapback. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need something super fancy for a slapback. Yeah, there's ones I prefer over others, but
I will say, if I was starting out and I wanted a delay pedal, that's the one I'm buying.
yeah.
If I was starting out, I would say forget the flashback because it's got too many options. Give me
3 options with a tap tempo.
with a tap tempo, and then if I want to go further into the digital realm or the tape or the analog,
You know where to go.
You know where to go
It's your 3 main food groups
for delay.
for delay.
Yeah. The only thing I wish had modulation.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not totally sure that like the analog or something doesn't have a bit of modulation built in it. It might not. I don't remember off the top of my head. So,
But regardless,
You
those
can't
are your 3 food groups.
Yeah.
For delay. I think it's an awesome pedal. It's a complete guess.
dude, they're definitely going to go on sale for like $79 at some point.
Yeah.
You're going to find one used for $70.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just going to end up having to pick one up to have around.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you've got a board and it's almost all the way full and you just need like one little delay stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
It's perfect for it.
Yeah, it's great.
So anyway, you want to go ahead and move into your main topic?
Yep. So, my main topic today, guys, which effect is the most timeless?
Okay.
And there's one conclusion I came up with. Slide guitar. That's an effect in my book. It's how you approach a guitar. But since the dawn of the slide,
Mm-hmm.
from Robert Johnson to now, it's still awesome.
Yeah.
From Robert Johnson to Derek Trucks to the slide that we know now, it's the best type of effect, I think, that has ever happened to guitar.
You know what? We definitely we don't see differently on this, but I think you see it more passionately than I do. Because you're a slide player,
Of course.
and I'm not.
Even if you're not, make a case for something better.
I don't think you can. I think you're right. I just think you're more passionate about it than I am.
Okay.
And I don't mean that bad.
Do you know Dylan Adams?
I don't think so.
I hope I got his name right.
The name sounds familiar, so I think you did.
He's well, he's on Instagram. I don't know if he's probably on TikTok or whatever, but he's on YouTube. He's a phenomenal slide player. All right, he's, I would say, a newer style of Derek Trucks.
Oh, he's just as good as Derek Trucks, you said?
He's phenomenal. I'm not saying he's just as good, but he's got a different pizzazz to him. I don't know how to explain.
I need to listen to him.
He's probably got some different mojo to him.
My mojo.
But he's a great slide player. And I was thinking, like, here's this new guy coming out, playing slide. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves the slide. Who doesn't like the slide?
I think there was a small time period that it was not popular.
When?
I think from like the mid 90s kind of grunge era, I think up until like
Jack White would say different with the White Stripes.
early 2000s.
Jack White used it.
Yeah, and you think of like Soundgarden, you slide a little bit, right? That was like mid 90s and stuff. And it was definitely in there a little bit. Yeah, maybe you're right. It's hard to think about like something that's more timeless than the slide.
I think it is. I'm just trying to make a strong case for it to validate myself. But no, I'm just kidding. I think the slide, seriously, it's one of those features that you can buy for a guitar that everyone can get along with. Everyone, now, granted, that's if you're a decent slide player, because if you're not, just leave it at home. It's kind of like playing the violin. Like, if you can't play it, just don't.
What do you do to practice to get better? You just sound like a cat for a while is all you gotta do, right?
Well, I'm not a fantastic slide player, but I can make some sounds.
Yeah.
But like, I think the slide is one of those things that just won't go away with guitar.
No, I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. And I do think it's pretty timeless. You think of, early blues recordings. And then you think of like the 70s with Skinnerd and all that stuff going on into the 80s.
Well, and then you got steel guitar, and you can kind of get some things out of that.
Oh, yeah, it's so cool. And I think now probably slide has came back stronger now than it has been since the 70s. Maybe even the 60s. Between guys like Rhett Shull is a big slide player, right? A YouTube guy. What's the guy's name? Ariel Posen. He's a huge slide player. Obviously, Derek Trucks is hugely famous for playing slide. You start thinking about some of these people, and they're just amazing slide players. And it's probably more popular now than it has been in, I don't know, 20, 30 years. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it is.
I think so. Yeah, slide, I think, is just one of those things. I do have a passion for it because I think Dwayne Allman, in my book, was the best slide player to get emotion out of the guitar.
Yeah.
And to me, there's really not much better of an example of making a vocal sound out of the guitar than using a slide.
Yeah, I think you're dead on. And like J.D. Simo as a player, whenever you start talking about Dwayne, I immediately think about J.D. Simo because he's so good at that like expressive vocal sound. I just love hearing him play slide. There's a lot of great players like that too. But yeah, I think you're right. I think probably slide. We do agree on this. You're right.
Yeah.
I think slide is probably the most timeless, like, effect, if you want to call it effect, technique, whatever you want to call it. Technique, it definitely is the most timeless technique.
Yeah.
I think without a doubt, it's the most timeless technique.
A lot more than tapping.
A lot more than tapping, more than sweep picking.
Yep.
More than all that wild stuff out there. Which also has its place and is cool. It definitely is more timeless, though.
Yep.
Man. I probably should practice slide more.
You need to.
You're making me think about it now.
I'm going to convert him.
Oh, it's gonna sound awful for a while, though,
That's
folks.
fine. Just practice not around me.
Fair enough. I'll get my mojo on the slide together.
All right. We need to end this episode, so...
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Put your comments down below. We'll see you then.
See you guys.